Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the Federation, and this is State of the Federation. I am your host, Delta Angelfire, also known as the Armchair Admiral. We are here to bring you the best in Star Trek Attack Wing, the best in the latest strategies, reviews, all the good stuff. And joining me, as usual, on this fine day are going to be David. David, how are you doing today?
Doing pretty good. Had a good OP3 and excited to talk about all the new stuff that's out in Star Trek right now.
And we also have Tucker. Tucker, how has your day been?
We are the Borg. The Borg are amazing.
Oh, no.
I'm doing well, thanks, Will.
Hey, that might be copyrighted music. We might get banned from Twitch for that.
It's parody, clearly, fair use. Anyway, I'm doing well. Just got some rather annoying news about my local meta, but on the other hand, I'm going to have a chance to do Tholian Web again in November. So that's going to be awesome.
Woo! 5 months later.
Yeah. But I'll have the Queen around, and that's going to be fun.
You. Oh, man. Can you imagine going back 5 months and playing whatever is going on like 5 or 6 months ago with what we have today?
You know, you see, there's some threads in the channel about people doing like Dominion War OP6 with Borg, and I'm like, yeah, wow.
It's like, I'm so glad they weren't around back then. I remember those days.
No. But, I mean, on the other hand, can you imagine like how much easier the whole Deep Space Nine scenario would be when you have a ship that like doesn't care how much damage it's taking?
Could be fun. But yeah. Welcome to State of the Federation. We have a great show for you today. We're going to be looking at some of the Resistance is Futile spoilers we've gotten from the Texas Regionals, as well as the championship list that took the top place there. And after that, David and I, we will be sharing some of our experiences with Collective OP3, since poor Tucker is now stuck back in Tholian Web.
Hey, at least I have another chance to win a simulation target prime, right?
Yeah.
Indeed. You are prepared already.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. All right. So, with that, let's get started. What did I say we're doing first? The Borg Scout Cube, I believe. That's correct. This is going to be one of the blind ships that we can get from Resistance is Futile. They have all been spoiled because they were all at the Texas Regionals. And they'll be what we are playing with in Regionals and probably at all the other Regionals as well. It's pretty good.
That's the safe assumption, at least.
It's nice not going in completely blind, unlike the guys that just went there. Like, open up a pack. What is this? I have no idea.
It's a Ferengi. What?
Yep. So for those of you who haven't seen yet, we have a Borg ship, Ferengi ship, a Mirror Universe Gowler class, which kind of threw me a little bit, a Kazon vessel, and a Vulcan ship.
That threw me.
All of the not big four. So
there are two missing, which are species 8472 and what was the other one? Bajorans, yeah.
Oh yeah. I suppose Bajorans might have been able to fit in there, but species 8472, I don't see them having a tiny ship. Unless people make stuff up.
Yeah. So sticking with show canon, no, they don't have anything that would work for a blind.
I don't know. Does anyone play the Star Trek Online one? Did they have other Undine stuff in there?
They do, but it's clearly made. I mean, Star Trek Online makes a lot of stuff up, like a lot of stuff.
But it's still cool. It's Star Trek after all.
Yeah, it's a great game.
All right, so we're going to be looking at the Borg Scout 255 today. And starting with the ship itself, not too different from 608 in terms of stats and upgrades. The generic is identical, but the unique one has the ability, if there is a scan token beside your ship, during the modified defense dice step of the combat phase, roll an extra defense die. You cannot deploy a Borg upgrade with a cost greater than 5 to the ship. So the same as all the scouts. But scanning for extra defense, that could be helpful.
Yeah, especially because for some reason it's during the modify defense dice step. Am I correct in thinking that attacker modifies first?
Yes. The off player modifies first in the step.
Right. So what that means is this is a defense die that your opponent can't mess with, which is nice.
It's cool, but how much stuff do we have that actually messes with defense dice in the first place?
I have no idea. Probably not that much.
I think we have Geordie LaForge.
Oh.
Right, because everybody's running Geordie these days.
Oh my god.
No, there was something else. There was something else.
It could happen.
There was something else in the Scout. I think it was like one of their sensor sweeps or something that you could turn an evade into an evade or battle station into a blank.
Oh, that's correct. Yeah. Long range scan.
Something like that. But yeah, so I mean, essentially, for the most part, I think you want to be running the scan action on the cube anyway, and it gives you a free extra defense dice. So I mean, I love free stuff. What can I say?
Yeah, it's almost an evade.
I don't think it's super powerful like the or at least not as powerful as the Scout 608. But I mean, I wouldn't toss this away. I'd run the two of them together if I wanted to.
If you needed weapons on your Scout cubes.
Yeah, so throw on some what are they called? Madrometric guided treasures?
Yeah.
Or something? Yeah.
Yes, because they can't run those on the generic, so you need two named ones. Yeah. All right. So the Scout Cube, you're pretty much on par with the other Scout. We have our named captain, our tactical drone. This one gets 2 drone tokens. During the activation phase, before you move, you may spend a drone token to remove an aux power token from beside your ship. I kind of like that. I think I would like it better on a big ship, but I also think I would like it better not in the captain slot.
Yeah.
This is look, the main problem Borg has is dealing with auxiliary power tokens. I don't think this should be underestimated. I really, really don't think that. This completely negates the drawback of feedback pulse. This allows you, I mean, if you wanted to, you could do things like force spin every single turn. This is...
Well, if you have enough drone tokens.
No, every single turn with...
Alcove?
You know, or 7 of 9. I mean, or even something like scavenged parts, or I don't even know. But like this is potent. I mean, the thing is, this game is the early parts of this game were designed around the idea that an auxiliary power token is a serious drawback, and the more mitigation we see, the more that's not going to be the case, and the more this is a dangerous card. I think it is wrong to underestimate this card. This is a 2-skill captain for 2 points, which is almost totally unprecedented. And I think if we allow the designers any sense at all, I think we should respect. This might be. Sorry.
Respect the drone.
Yeah, I think it's yeah.
Well, the only reason I say a couple of these things is, number one, I don't think it works as well on the Scout Cube because the Scout Cube has green turns or green spins.
Oh yeah. I mean, for the Scout Cube, no. Yeah. But for a bigger Borg ship, this could be potent.
Yeah. And the other thing is that it has to be during the activation phase before you move. You can't do it after you move with a red maneuver or something like you could with the Vulcan control room or with the new Scotty.
Yeah, but it's also not an action and doesn't take a upgrade slot.
Which is true. So it's got its ups and downs. David, any thoughts?
Not really. It's got potential. It's one of those I'd have to mess around more with Borg stuff to see if I had a home for it. I'm still a big fan of the tactical drone that lets you re-roll for a drone token. So
fair enough.
yeah,
All right.
It has some use.
All right. So next card, we'll go ahead and look at the Borg upgrade. We have Dispersion Field. Maybe I should have saved this to last. This is going to be a painful one. All right. So for a 2-point Borg upgrade, while this card is deployed to your ship, none of your other upgrades can be affected by your opponents. In addition, you may roll your full defense dice in spite of the presence of an opposing ship's scan token. Now, even forget the second part of that because it's a nice little bonus. But the first part, I think we've all decided is broken because you can combine it with costs.
Not only can you combine it with costs, I mean, I think the only ganking thing in the game that can touch a Borg upgrade is superior intellect. I mean, aside from Miles O'Brien, and that permanently gets rid of it. In other words,
there's one of the other Scout Cube ones can discard it possibly.
No, I don't think so.
No, the first Scout Cube had one that could discard to discard any upgrade.
Disable any 2 upgrades. Disable all crew upgrades. You're right. Discard, and 1 upgrade of your choice. Okay, so hilariously, the Borg can deal with it, but it's tough.
Let me hold you right there. For those who have not kept up with all the cards yet, Koss basically has the exact same text on this, and he's a Vulcan crew upgrade. He came with one of the Vulcan prize ships. While this card is deployed to your ship, none of your other upgrades can be affected by your opponents. So with Dispersion Field and Koss prevents Dispersion Field from being affected. Dispersion Field keeps Koss from being affected. You basically cannot mess with their ship at all. You know, outside of attacking, you can't mess with their upgrades at all.
Well, right, and keep in mind, this doesn't say opponents' upgrades. Like, admirals don't get around this, captains don't get around this, ships don't get around this. Your opponents cannot touch your upgrades, period. Now, they can touch your ship. They can put an auxiliary power token on your ship. They can disable your captain.
Chang!
Oh, God, stop.
Your day has come.
He's not viable.
Oh. He will be. I'm sure of it.
No, he won't.
More likely, the new Chang that comes with the Bird of Prey will be viable.
Yeah, but old Chang is just so bad.
Well, that's because he'll probably be an admiral. But yeah, so Dispersion Field, great big pain.
Oh yeah. Good luck.
At least it's unique.
The secondary text is nice too. Ignore scan tokens basically.
But how many defense dice are most Borgs running anyways? 0.
On a Scout, 4.
Okay, but
One.
This upgrade is not meant for Scouts.
Yeah, I know.
It's meant for your super tactical cubes.
Well, if you take that, usually you'll have a flagship for 1 defense die anyway.
Maybe.
I tend to actually use what is it? The Independent Romulan. That's attack, hull shields, and free action scan.
That's the.
That might be the Klingon, actually.
No, because the Klingon doesn't give you a shield. The Romulan doesn't give you hull, and the Fed doesn't give you defense.
Yeah, the Fed is okay.
Yeah.
So it's got to be the Dominion then.
The Dominion doesn't give you attack.
I got lost. What are we talking about with this?
The Fed action is evade. This is pointless. Never mind.
Anyways, yeah. Dispersion Field is a great big thing.
Yes.
Yeah. It's terrible for the game, but it's great if you're playing Borg.
You'll want it, but thankfully you only need 1.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
see
correct.
What else do we have here? Generic drone we don't care about. Let's go for our tech. Our tech here is Access Terminal, and I'm going to enjoy this one. It's a 2-point Borg tech slot. Whenever you are required to spend any number of drone tokens, you may disable this card to spend those drone tokens from your ship and or any friendly ships within range 1 to 2 of your ship. You may divide the spending of these drone tokens between your ships however you like. Any drink.
Okay, so the whole...
Go on.
I was just going to say, this combos hilariously well with the Borg Queen. Because what you do is you set the Borg Queen up on like a scout vessel, either Romulan or Borg, depending on if you're faction pure or not, and have her just fly in front of your other ship and leech drone tokens from her. Then when she gets blown up, teleport her onto your main ship, and she gets her full complement of drone tokens back.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm trying to think what other things spend drones, but it's nice to think that, you know, you can spend the Queen's drones to use your other drone captain's abilities, because most of them spend drone tokens. You have them for assimilation tubules, but, I mean, what else good requires drone tokens?
Soon crew. Croesus, Oval, etc. If they're with a Borg captain, they have to spend drone tokens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like to get around that by just not putting them on a drone captain.
Agreed, but now you can.
Indeed. Let's see. Downside is you do have to disable it.
That's true.
It does make me sad, but
one thing you can do is you can use this to get around the limitation on low drone captains, like say the auxiliary power token one, or the counterattack die one from the Scout Cube, or even 3rd of 5, though he's not that great. But hey, on this Scout Cube, he rolls 5 defense dice if he wants.
Oh yeah, the extra defense drone.
Mm-hmm.
Q.
Yeah, well, 3rd of 5. But yeah, he'll add 1. The unique will add 1. You'll be rolling 5 defense dice. I don't think Borg has quality though.
Not really, but hey, you're basically a Klingon at that point.
Except you have more shields than God.
Oh yeah.
What does God need with a starship? Come on.
What does God want with a starship?
The one good line from that movie.
Oh my God, that movie was so bad.
Okay, so sticking with Star Trek Attack Wing, though.
Sticking with the now. We now have a lovely new weapon for our Borg, and that was going to be our proton beam. You disable this card to perform this attack. It's a 4-point Borg weapon. All damage inflicted by this attack ignores the opposing ship's shields. This upgrade costs +5 points for any non-Borg ship. This is basically a dumbed-down version of the phased polaron beam.
Yeah, it's strictly worse.
Because the 3...
well, it costs... Outside of being cheaper, but yes.
Yeah, it's 1 point less, because with the phased polaron, it's limited, of course, to Dominion ships. But also, the 3-die one is 1 to 2 range, and the 4-die one is only 1 range.
Well, it's not limited to only Dominion ships. It just costs +5 for any non-Jem'Hadar ship. So it's basically with this. I mean, this is just another. This is the same thing. Phased polaron beam does not see a lot of play, and I don't really expect this to either.
No, I mean, really, getting past shields is usually not as big a problem as getting past defense dice, and for that, you would want the magnetometric charges.
Yeah.
It is nice that this is a weapon someone else can have, but it'd be nice if it was a better weapon. I think that's all there is to say about that one. And by that one, I now mean one himself. Sorry, can't talk right now. But one. God, what was his real name? I already forgot.
I don't even remember.
Oh, isn't this Hansen? Magnus Hansen?
It might be.
I don't know. Is this from Voyager? I wouldn't know.
I think it is. I think this is the which would be weird because now that we actually have a Magnus Hansen, he doesn't have this text that states you can't. You have him both. But
Q did
Going
it.
on with this one, I may be mistaken, of course. 1 4-point Borg crew upgrade as an action. Discard this card to perform this action. For each damage your ship suffers this round, disable one of your active shields instead of destroying it. If you have no active shields left, any excess damage is applied to your hull as normal. This is a pretty cool effect.
Okay, here we go. So apparently, this is that weird, like, combination of the Doctor's holographic emitter and a nanoprobe from 7 of 9, and it's really stupid.
It's that one. Okay.
Yeah, it's really stupid. Okay.
The future technology Borg.
Yeah. So this guy, if you can find a way to get 2 actions a turn somehow, this guy is hilarious. He's hilarious with Weiyun or
Sopek?
the hell is it? Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
The one where you can keep using him over and over again. And this is really nice with, especially on like the bigger Borg ships that have an inordinate amount of shields.
Did I lose you?
No, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it's basically, I mean, the other thing he does is he basically turns for 1 turn, more if you have a way to recur him, he basically turns any ship into the Equinox.
In terms of regenerating shields, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd
Mechanically,
still rather
it works out a little differently, but I like free
Sorry?
shields. He's a preemptive shield regenerator, though, so your opponent can avoid shooting at that ship, possibly.
Well, here's the interesting thing. For those who don't know, Resistance is Futile was uploaded today onto the WizKids website, and one of the new resources appears to be like add each shields to your ships or something. So
the extra shield one?
Yeah, so with that, this guy is effectively another attack canceller.
Practically, yeah.
Yeah, there's not much that does like 10 damage.
I mean, you'd have to be, your options are proton beam or phase polaron beam at that point, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because even basics aren't really going to pack a punch.
Or
oh man, he'll be cheaper. He'll be cheaper than Varel on a Borg ship.
Oh yeah.
And what's the projected stasis field is your other counter there. So I like him in that capacity, and I mean even on a tactical cube. I mean a tactical cube has 9 shields. You know.
Yeah.
So
it can. Yeah. I think it can.
Or maybe it's 8 shields and 9 hull. Whatever. It has more shields than you're going to destroy in 1 turn. Whatever.
Yeah, pretty much. And definitely not repeatedly.
And then actually, here's an even fun one. If you can find a way to get another action. Oh, never mind. I was thinking of subspace distortion, but it's starting field value, so shield value, so it doesn't even matter.
Mm-hmm.
But that would just be really annoying.
It is a little more difficult than using Varel because it does take an action here. You need an action to recover him, or an action to recover your captain, and then another action to use him again.
Yeah, I mean you could do something with Lee Nollis,
Goval,
or
I'm a fan of Goval.
How is Oh yeah, Goval. Yeah, Goval would work too.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if there's something that could be done with Lee Nollis and Phlox, even.
Some kind of hilarious disable, re-enable shenanigans.
Yeah, we're starting to get to the point where that's looking like a real possibility. So.
Yeah, it's hard though, since because you need Lee Nollis to stop Phlox from disabling, and if you're using him to stop something else from disabling, it doesn't really work as well.
Yeah.
Centurion's another option. When one of your crew upgrades or your captain is to be disabled or discarded, you can discard this card instead.
Yeah.
It gives you another turn.
The thing here that I can talk about for just a minute is that you really have to figure out how much defense do you actually need. If you're negating 3 full attacks with just 1 Goval and then 1 use of Wayun, then usually that's enough to secure you a game right there. You don't actually have to go overboard and have infinite recursion.
Right.
Yeah, but the flip side of this is that if you have enough shields that you don't think your opponent can take them down in a full round of attacks, it's better than attack cancellation. Because this isn't against 1 attack, this is just for any damage. Hell, this works against the meteor shower sector condition. Wait, does that happen?
No, because that
planning or
happens
end
before
phase?
the action phase, and he has to take an action.
Okay, well, never mind then.
But we can try to.
It works against cloaked mines. No. When does cloaked mines happen?
After you move.
After you move?
Happens
Okay.
after you take your action.
Does it?
It has to, or else the scan thing would be irrelevant.
You're right. So this guy works against cloaked mines.
I'll take it.
Yeah. As if Borg needed one more thing to help him out.
All right, so I believe then that is all for the Borg Scout 255. Any final thoughts on this one?
I want to get it.
Seems like a good deal.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I interrupted. Go ahead.
I think it's one of the most useful ones, both as a blind itself and in terms of what it does to help the faction as a whole.
Because Borg need all the help they can get.
It gives you a...
But yeah.
Sorry,
Tucker?
did you lose?
No, I'm still
Yeah,
hearing
I'm
you.
losing you a little bit, Dave.
Okay. Yeah, I like it as a whole. I think it's useful for what it does as a blind booster and for the options it gives you after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
I love options.
Yeah, I would agree with Dave. I'm a fan of most cards in this pack except Proton Beam, and even that might have its uses. A Proton Beam may be stronger on something with a Scout Cube's movement than on like a Jem'Hadar battleship or bug or something. I don't know. That one I wouldn't know until I tested. But the rest I automatically think are great. I think 1 is very interesting. I like auxiliary power token mitigation. Axis terminal is hilarious. I don't like what Dissipation Field does for the game, but I love what it does for my favorite faction. So yeah.
And then the question is, what of this pack would you take for your blind if you were at the regionals?
I would take the unique Scout Cube, the Tactical Drone Captain, and the Proton Beam. And the reason is, my opinion is that because of the way fleet points are calculated in this event, it is vital to get as close to 30 as you can, because having less than that is handing your opponent free fleet points. With that said, I could see maybe dropping to the generic, or no, because you can't do that. Yeah, then I think this is pretty much what you're going to have to do in that case. And hey, Proton Beam might be useful. You never know.
It could be. It's a way to whittle down your opponent. I might take 1 instead of Proton Beam, but that's me.
With the unique Scout Cube, you don't have a lot of durability, and this is going to buy you maybe 1 turn. You know,
right.
And then you're just but then you're just attacking with 2, maybe even 1 die if you're in the energy flux sector.
No, I hear you. It's a.
Oh yeah, Proton Beam would be good for energy flux.
And I think it would be good against other Borg in Nebula, because if you're getting into range 2, you might as well get into range 1. Meteor Shower 1 is not going to be nearly as effective because you're likely to be taking damage a lot.
In Meteor Shower?
So
Not on the Scout. 3 defense dice, man?
that, well, yeah, I guess that's true. But I've whiffed enough defense rolls not to want to depend on that. And every single hit you take makes one weaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. My thoughts were of course the generic, not the generic, but the name Scout 255. I might even forgo tactical drone for 1 because I think he has some neat things he can do. But then I don't really have anything else for 2 except for the dispersion field. I would almost go with the singular drone captain, just for the fact that it can get in there and jam up people, bump them earlier. But then again, I can just do that with tactical drone if I spend a couple of his tokens.
Yeah, correct.
So I think I might actually do that now. Now that I thought about it. But all right, that is our discussion on Scout 255, one of the blind boosters for Resistance is Futile. Also for your local regional. Is local regional a word? That seems weird. But let's see. Next section